What's happening, guys, and welcome back to another random dispatch from the island. The island of Maui, that is. I know what you're doing right now. You're probably looking down at the time on this and being like, damn, that's a long video. So I might as well address it now. This is going to be a long video because I'm going to answer one of the most requested follow-up videos that I get questioned about. And that was the weed story. That video gets more make another follow-up video than any other video. So I'm going to make a follow-up video on the weed story. The second time I smoked weed. If you haven't seen the first video, I'll link it down below. The first video takes place when I'm about a sophomore in high school. And that was my first time smoking weed, getting baked out of my mind. And then blah, blah, blah. You'll have to watch the video. And then I never smoked weed again. Let me just say that I could summarize the story I'm telling you about right now in like a minute. But I'm going to tell you the long, elaborated version so you can enjoy some of this beautiful Maui scenery that's occurring in the background. Sound like a plan? Heading up the mountain right now. Okay, so the second time I smoke weed and get stoned out of my mind happens in the city of Los Angeles, and I'm about 23 years old, 22 or 23 years old. And I hadn't smoked weed in so long that I thought maybe I had control of it. Probably a bad way to think about weed in the first place, right? Oh, I got this. I've got control of this. Nah, not even the case. So one weekend I'm hanging out with my friend Mahar, M-A-H-E-R, also goes by Merrick. He's actually an actor that's been in a bunch of movies. Pretty cool. Anyways, we're hanging out, and I've been hanging out with him for a while, and he's super chill, super zenned out, awesome guy. And I told myself that if I ever smoked weed again, it would be with somebody that's super chill, and I just had this, man, it's all good. So Maha and I, we smoke a little bit of weed, and I'm like, all right, I'm going to smoke just a little bit of weed, right? Because I learned my lesson the first time. Smoked way too much the first time, so I got this on the second round. We're in control. Oh yeah, let's do this. So we smoke a little bit of his weed, and he smoked a lot of weed, so I guess the weed he was smoking was good. Anyways, I got a little stoned and a little stony. I was laughing, having a good time, feeling pretty good. Like feeling like I was in control of it and really enjoying the experience. I was like, oh man, this is why people do it all the time. I gotta start doing this all the time. This is totally manageable. Anyways, about an hour or so goes by, and we're in the middle of frickin' Los Angeles in Hollywood. And he's like, hey, you wanna go to my buddy's house? Let's go hang out. First of all, I felt a little just off kilter when that question was posed. It was like, don't know if I want to be around other humans. Not sure I'm prepared to manage that reality just yet. Really having a good time right now. Just me and you, buddy. Just talking, just philosophizing about things. Just going deep into the matrix of conversation. And just doing it right. But I say, yeah, sure, sounds good. Right after that thought process of, no, this is not a good idea occurs. So we go to his buddy's house a couple of miles away, and they're all super cool guys. We're all chilling out, and I'm still kind of like, not feeling super confident about my immediate surroundings. And so to solve that problem, I figured I'd take a couple of rips off the giant bong that they just busted out. That'll be a great way to just mesh with new friends. Yeah, right. So I take one rip off the bong, and I'm like, okay, good. And I get a little more stoned, and then I start like kind of really opening up and feeling comfortable with this brand new group of friends. And everything is good, everything is fine. And I'm like, okay, you know, an hour or so had gone by, and I'm like, damn, I totally have this. And I started to kind of lose my high, my stony high. So I was like, okay, I'll smoke a little more. And then I'll smoke a little more. And this like pattern of letting 30, 40 minutes go by was, and then smoking more. Look, there's a little baby in the back of the car. Hi, little baby. This pattern of stopping and modulating and feeling like my high was dissipating was working out pretty well. I was like, okay, I got this. I got this. But then all of a sudden, seemingly out of the blue, I just came to the realization that I was super stoned, out of my mind. Just so, and it hit me like a freight train, and I don't know if you guys can relate to this at all, but it felt like a freaking cattle prod just hit me in the heart. It was like this just deep anxiety, fear, kind of like ultra paranoia just hit me like a lightning rod. Is this lady letting me go? Hit me like a lightning rod, and all of a sudden I'm like, who the fuck are these people in my head? I didn't know anyone. I didn't know my friend Maha. I didn't know these other people. I didn't know what we were just recently talking about. It was some deep philosophical shit, and whatever it was, it switched the fucking circuit breaker in my brain that sent me into ultra paranoia. So, just like the first time I smoked weed, my immediate response was, I gotta get the fuck out of here. So I did that. I was like, I'm gonna go take a quick pee really quick. I'll be right back. I freaking walked out the door. I think I heard somebody saying that's not the way to the bathroom, and I was gone. I like walked down the stairs, and I remember running for like 200 feet to like get around a corner and then peek back. Is anyone following me? Okay, I think I did this. I think I got away from them. And then I proceeded to do what I did the first time I got super stoned, which was to walk around a lot. I feel like when I'm in that state of mind, walking is the only thing that kind of helps. So I just started walking in Los Angeles, greater Los Angeles, up in Hollywood. And there was no point to it or any direction I was heading in. I was just walking like blocks and blocks and blocks. And I was kind of feeling better, but I was also feeling ultra paranoid. And then the motherfucking munchies came on like a freaking tsunami. Wham! Munchieville, USA, here it is. I look across the street and there's a freaking Dunkin Donuts there. I'm like, holy shit, that is the best idea in the universe. I need to go to Dunkin Donuts right now. Nothing could be more perfect. This is what all the walking was all about. I took all those turns on all those streets to specifically wind up at this very destination at this very point in time in the universe. And it couldn't have been more perfect, and I felt so calm and confident and in control. And then I walk into Dunkin Donuts, and I'm feeling really good now. I'm going up the roller coaster. It's going click, 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 click. I'm feeling so safe and so good. Everything is the happy people. Until I walk in, and the girl looks at me, and she goes, "Can I help you with anything?" And all of a sudden, that freaking question just opened up the matrix again, and I'm going down the steepest roller coaster of like psychotic questions like, what the hell does that mean? Can I help you? How could you ever possibly help me? And then just the deepest, never-ending stream of connected chain link thoughts that never reached any solution that was relative to answering her like a human. I probably stood there for what seems like an eternity, but it was probably realistically maybe at 30 seconds. And I kind of tried to like compose myself and go, no, it's cool, I'm cool, I'm good, everything's fine. I'm like, how about that one right there, the little sprinkly colors, I like that one. She's like, oh, that one right there. She goes to grab it, and she goes, oh, we have a really good deal on a dozen. And I'm like, oh, okay, I'll take a dozen. I was just doing anything I could to get the hell out of there with my donuts. I didn't want to interact. There was like this wall, this impenetrable, bulletproof freaking wall, like those ones you go to the bank and the glass is 2.5 inches thick, and there's $1 million sitting behind it, and you can own it. It's like you're in there to own it. This is one of those banks that you go in and the service they provide is giving you tons of money, and all you have to do is say, oh, I'll take one of those and one of those, and you're off and on your way. And I'm like dealing with trying to get a donut. So she goes, 12. I go, yep, sounds good. Give me those donuts. Run my debit card. I'm out of there with the donuts. Okay, I'm back outside. I'm walking back to safety land. I like this. It feels good. I got my donuts, they're under my arm, I'm holding them like a skateboard, and I'm reaching in and taking bites and reaching to other donuts, and I'm trying to like mathematically figure out which donuts I've been eating based on their flavors and what might be left and those percentages and all that shit. Then I'm walking down the street, I'm like, shit man, I've been walking and eating a lot of these donuts. I don't think I can eat all these donuts. This seems to be too many donuts for one human to consume. Then I go into cycling about thinking about how many donuts I'm eating and the sugar content and all the carbohydrates and everything that relates to that. What it might be like for me to be gaining weight in real time. What's happening with my fat cells. Let's just say I was baked out of my mind, as you can probably imagine. These are the thoughts that are freaking going through my crazy mind. And then I see this homeless guy on the side of the road. So I'm like, oh man, I'll do a good service right now. This is gonna make me feel good. Let's do this. Walk up to him, offer him some donuts. He goes, yeah, sure man, I'll take some donuts. I open the box, it looks like a grenade went off. There's just like donut chunks everywhere. They're all half-eaten and shredded and mangled. Anyways, I get to talking with this homeless guy, and I'm just rapping with him, just talking. And for some reason, whether it was his level of insanity, like real, maybe, I mean, I'm not gonna say insanity, let's just say maybe he had some real mental disorders tied into my super stoniness, his reality just seemed to make a lot of sense to me. And it felt good just sitting there talking to him. I'm sure all of my senseless, circular, unending babble was like a dinner conversation to him. It was probably just totally normal. And then at one point I go, hey, I'm gonna go pee. I go around the corner, I pee, I come back, and the homeless dude is gone. Then again, I'm on the roller coaster taking a freaking free fall with the cycle of thoughts like, why did this homeless guy walk away from me? Was I doing this too much, or was I doing that? Did I freak him out? And I start going into another freaking crazy cyclone of ideas. And then I have to prove to myself for some weird reason that this is not true. So I figure that I have to recreate what just happened. So I go into another Dunkin Donuts, buy another fucking 12-pack of donuts, go out, walk up to some other random homeless guy, and I start rapping with him. Now this point, the second box of donuts is where it gets really foggy. I can't remember really what happened. I do recall walking around a lot, and I do remember walking into a lot of different Dunkin Donuts. And closer to the end of this whole thing with the Dunkin Donuts, I remember having blisters on my feet, and it was like really sore. And I'm like, I gotta stop doing this. I gotta stop buying donuts. I gotta stop walking around. I gotta get home. Where the fuck am I? Etc., etc. Then the next thing I realize is I wake up in the morning, and I'm home. I got home, and I slightly vaguely remember walking back, but kind of just really being like weird about the reality of walking back home. And I freaking reach into my pocket, and I have this neatly rolled up pack of freaking receipts from Dunkin Donuts, and I spent $180 on fucking donuts. I mean Dunkin Donuts. And that was the last time I smoked weed to that extent. I've done it a couple of other times since then, just little puffs. But I've come to the conclusion that it just isn't for me, man. Well, I hope you enjoyed this random dispatch from the island. This was Weed Story Part 2. I hope you enjoyed it. I'll click link up Part 1 in the description below. Anyways, catch you guys on the flip side.
Oh my god, it seemed like he was so fucked up. He need to stop, take the wrong rips all night long. Maybe just smoke the half spliff is gonna be the much better experience. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed the video. If you like to support this channel, you can buy this new t-shirt I make. It's called the Accidental Signature Series. It has my signature right on the bottom. Link below. I see you in the next time.